Yo, another video. I've got the flu, so I must look like crap, so excuse me for coughing and sneezing. I'll do a video now on buying second-hand equipment. Now, Jonathan, or the DJ Tutor, did actually do a few videos on this. The reason I'm doing this video is because I actually have an actual example of a piece of kit that I brought that's actually turned out to be a bit of a lemon. Now, I don't normally buy dodgy second-hand equipment because I know what to look out for, but there's an exception with this one. I'll explain in a minute. Now, buying second-hand equipment's wicked because these days, you know, technology's getting more advanced. DJ equipment is getting more expensive. Let's face it, it's not getting any cheaper. There are companies that make cheap equipment, but some people get put off by the fact that it is so cheap because they think it's going to be naff. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it is, I'm just saying a lot of people get put off by that. And a lot of people want specific equipment, like a lot of people, when they want turntables, they want Technics, or, you know, in particular they want Technics or whatever, and they can't afford them brand new. But anyway, yeah, so I bought some second-hand equipment lately, and because I couldn't afford, I wanted some Technics 1210s, but I couldn't afford them new, so I brought a second-hand set. But I actually broke the first rule of buying second-hand equipment. I'll explain. Okay, let me take the camera for that. Now, when I brought this mixer, I actually broke all the rules of buying second-hand equipment. Okay, I knew full well that it had been stripped apart, and I knew it was knackered. But the simple fact is this. Okay, I brought that and that. I bought two Technics 1210 Mark IIs for 300 quid. That got thrown in for nothing. So because it got thrown in for nothing, I didn't really care. I mean, I'm not exactly going to refuse it. If it's for free, at the end of the day, it could be knackered. It could still work, you know. It could do as just a backup mixer. And, you know, it's worth it for nothing. You know, you wouldn't turn it down if somebody offered you it for nothing. But I'm just using this as an example. Now, let's say, for example, I did actually pay, I don't know, say 30 quid for this, okay? Let's have a look at it. Is it worth 30 quid? Now, on the face of it, okay, it looks fine, and it looks like it is worth 30 quid. You know, you would pay 30 quid for that if it was in working condition. Okay, now, a lot of people have said, check to make sure all the screws are in place. Okay, but that's not really a reliable way of seeing if somebody's had this apart. Because at the end of the day, the person that had it apart might have actually stored all the screws in a safe place, and they might have been really careful when they took it apart and did put them all back. Okay, what you need to do is check the condition of the screws. Alright, let me just put the camera in. Right, now that's one of the screws, okay. Now that looks okay, that one, and that looks fine, okay, and because it's in there and it's in place, okay, you would assume that that hasn't been touched. But wrong, that has been undone, and I'll tell you for why. Because look at the screw on the other side. Look at that, that is absolutely mangled, and this is what it should look like. Okay, still got its shape, nice and smooth, and there's no scratching around the actual screw. Okay, look at that one, it's mangled. Obviously he's used the wrong type of screwdriver or the wrong size. Okay, and there's scratch marks around the outside there, so he's obviously done this in a hurry or hastily got it apart and scratched it up. And the ones on the front arm, you can't really see those, because yeah, look, you can just about see that's pretty mangled, and that one, so the ones on the front aren't any better really. So that one, I don't know, could be a brand new screw, I don't know. Now if you look around the mixer as well, you can see, look, there is scratch there, or dent rather, and you can see that if I try and go to the side, you can see that that's sort of off shape. It looks like it's been whacked or pelted. The same with the other corner, and you can just see, look, generally look around it, look, scratches. You can tell as well that the actual potentiometers or the pots are actually quite wobbly. Okay, I know they're not supposed to be, you know, really tight, but they're not supposed to be that. I'm not hardly putting any pressure on that, and they are really, really wobbly. As well, look at the faders, okay? Now that, obviously the faders go up and down, but they're not supposed to move side to side, look, like that. Okay, look, all I'm doing is tapping that with my finger, okay? If I take that bit off, you can see, look, that is completely knackered. And that doesn't actually work. That you get about halfway up, left channel cuts out, and then to the top, and then you have to push it right up to, yeah, it's just a mess. It's knackered. So that is obviously what the problem is and what he's tried to repair. And I can confirm that because when I have actually had this apart, and he's done a very dodgy soldering job on the connections on this fader. So the fader's knackered. Same with the crossfader. That's loose, wobbly. Okay, it's even twisting that, and it's knackered basically. I have to have it on cut. I can't have it on fade because it doesn't cut channels out. If I go like that, that turntable won't actually cut out. Just the left channel of it will. So that's pretty knackered. If you look at the side, see there's a pretty nasty dent there, look. It's a pretty nasty dent on the bottom. The feet as well, look, you can see the feet are all worn at the bottom. The screws on the side don't look like they've been touched. They're in pretty good condition. It's obviously it just had the faceplate off. The actual connections look not too bad. They're okay, but if you take one of these off, sorry, you can't see that very well. Look, you can see the actual, that's not very shiny. It's sort of dull, and that means that, you know, that's been plugged in, unplugged, plugged in, unplugged, plugged in, unplugged so many times it's actually just scratched all that up. So that's another way to tell that it's actually had a hard life. Basically, it's not looking worth 30 quid really now, is it? Let me put the camera in normal mode. There you go. So now you've got to ask yourself, is that mixer really worth 30 quid? Okay, in the condition that it's in, for a mixer that actually looked in pretty good condition. Obviously you can expect mixers to have little dinks and scratches on. It's just, you know, the way it is. It's like you wouldn't buy a 5-year-old car and expect there to be no scratches on it whatsoever, or no little stone chips or whatever. It's going to happen. But, you know, by looking at the condition of those, the wobbly pots, the wobbly faders, you know, looking at it, it looks in very poor condition, and I would not pay 30 quid for that. I would pay a fiver at a push, and, you know, the fact that it's all like that, I would probably just walk away, because that is knackered. It's fit for nothing but the bin. So it's not all doom and gloom. I mean, at the end of the day, there are some diamonds out there that you can buy, like really nice equipment that people are just genuinely selling cheap because they want to get rid of it, or they want a quick sell. If you find somebody like that and actually beat them down a little bit, then, you know, at the end of the day you've got yourself a bargain. But if you're buying somebody off of somebody that's basically said, yeah, it's fine, it's in perfect condition, still works, and you go, okay, and you take them by face value and buy it and think, yeah, it'll be fine, you could get it home and think, actually, oh shit, I've wasted my money, that is an absolute pile of crap. So there you go. I hope this has helped. Any comments or anything underneath, I'll put some stuff in the description, as much as I can put in there. Okay, thank you for watching, nice one.